What's up guys? So today, because it's New Year's Eve, I wanted to do a little video about my experience since starting the channel through the different cars that I've driven. Because 2015's been a pretty random year for me, if I'm honest, I've sort of asked myself 10 relatively easy questions about what I do and the best cars that I've done. So starting it all off, which car surprised me the most? Before this, I'd never driven a Honda, never ever driven a Honda. So when I first jumped into Josh's white EK9 Type R, I literally couldn't believe how good the VTEC was. I couldn't believe how much of a good package it was. The sound of it coming on VTEC, all the crazy noises that come out after that and stuff, it was just awesome to jump in a car that wanted to be hurt at the end of the day. I think that for me definitely opened my eyes to the whole VTEC thing and the whole Civic thing, because before that I wasn't really into it. I'd never really been in any VTEC cars or anything, so I didn't really understand and I didn't really get it. Obviously you get a lot of jokes about VTECs and stuff, but at the time I never really had an opinion on them because I'd never driven one. It was nice to jump in one that was so good, that is so good. It really is an unbelievable car, that is. So the second one would be best sound. What do I think is the best sounding car that I've driven this year? Now, I like turbos, I really like turbos. I've never really had, other than, you know, German stuff, a turbocharged car. So to jump into Ben's S14 with the flutter dump as you know, change gear and stuff, that really got me, and every time you changed gear it was like, oh, it's really exciting, and that sort of again opened my eyes to, oh wow, I really want a turbo car. It's so cool, it's so nice to just, you know, flutter past people, and when it comes on boost and then you go into the next gear, it'll flutter in between gears. That to me was just such a cool thing. That's really what would make me buy one, I think. It's just so much fun, like the sound and stuff like that. So I was really happy with that, and I think that has to take the best sounding car, because I think that's something that really gets you going. It really like makes you excited to be driving it, into changing gear, and regardless of how fast you're going or how much, you know, you're giving it shit down the road and stuff, it would still make that noise. So I really was impressed with that, and I really do like it. Number 3 would be best modification. So the best modification to a car that I've driven this year, and it has to be hands down the supercharged MX-5. It is literally another world. You put that on a B road in the summer with a roof down, supercharger whining, it doesn't get any better than that in my opinion. It is literally as good as it gets. That is as good as driving gets. So to take a lovely little MX-5, and they're an amazing car to drive, and they're, you know, it's such a good package to start with, but give it a kick up the arse with the sort of power it needs and the sound of the supercharger, there's just nothing better than that in my opinion. So that definitely has to take best modification in my books, because so far I haven't driven anything that's got me that excited over one modification. It's crazy. So that definitely has to take it. Now number 4, I get this asked quite a lot. What do I think is the best first sort of fastish car that you can still modify on a budget? To me, at the moment, considering price and, you know, depending on insurance, because I think insurance is a bit of a funny one. A lot of people say, you know, certain cars are cheap to insure and certain cars aren't cheap to insure, but I personally, from my personal driving experience, would have to say the Civic Type R. The EP3 shape, I think they're right on the money at the moment. They are so cheap in my opinion for what they are, for the car that you're getting. That package as a daily driver is something that's easy and cheap to modify, and it still does everything. It's still got the big boot, it's still got, you know, you can get people in the back. That to me would be the first fast-ish car in my books that I would buy after buying my first car. So if that makes sense, so something that, you know, when your insurance company will let you buy something a little bit faster, and, you know, you're able to afford a bit more of a faster car, I think that would be something that I would look into more than anything else that I've driven this year. So best value for money, I'd have to say it was an MX-5, any MX-5 really. I think as a package, if you don't really mind about, you know, only having 2 seats, and you don't really mind that, you know, you've got a convertible roof and it's a little bit of a smaller car, you know, room isn't really there, I think that is definitely ridiculously cheap for what it is. They go and handle, and you know, they've got enough fun in them as a standard car for you to really use them and enjoy them without spending £1 million on them. So again, the MX-5 is just, this year, blown me away, because I really do like it. I really think it's an awesome car, and they're bloody cheap. I see them all day long for next to no money, considering what they are and how well they go and stuff. So I'd say that's definitely value for money right there. I really do. So the most fun car of this year, well, I'd have to say it's one of the Evos, probably the Evo 9. It's just, it does everything so well. It is as standard, or you know, just with an exhaust or an air filter or whatever, it's just so good at going around corners, stopping, coming on boost, like, you know, it does everything so well without you needing to do anything to the car. But obviously when you do stuff to the car, it's just next level. It just performs so well. Now, the car that scared me the most this year to have a go in a Starlet was, to me, insane. When I jumped in it, I knew it was going to be crazy, but I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. And as you can see from the video, and you can see from the shots that I did, the car was so uncontrollable, in quite of a good way, but not the best way, if that makes sense. Being front wheel drive and turboed and small, it was just, it's all over the place. It was literally an insane car to drive. So I definitely think that would take the scariest one, just because you were scared of it literally torque steering over there into someone's house, and it's just so scatty all over the road. So yeah, I definitely think that takes the scariest car of the year, in my opinion. So next is the most exciting car I've driven. So the one that got me most excited before I'd even driven it, before I'd even, you know, set foot in the door of the car, and that definitely has to be the Skyline R32. Fucking hell's bells. I had big, you know, thoughts of how good this car was going to be, and it excelled every expectation that I was hoping for. It's just everything you want in a car that you just want to have a laugh in and use, like going sideways and stuff. It's just, I was wanting it to be so manageable and so exciting and so much fun, and it did all of that. It did everything and more. It was just such a good package, and it's been built for purpose, and the purpose is not to really kill you, because you can use it properly, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's just the best of an exciting car. It really is. If you want to have the back out, you can very easily, but it won't try and kill you in the process, if you're not being silly, of course. So next is what car I think is the best daily that I've driven this year. So the one that I would happily jump in at any point, drive around constantly, going to the shop, going here, going there, and then I would take to Scotland and back, that I'd take to France and back. Which one really does everything, so it makes you, you know, smile, and it makes good noises, and it's stupidly comfortable, goes like a rocket ship, and that definitely has to be the S4. They are a relatively new car, and yeah, it's going to be, you know, nicer to drive than the others, but I think it does everything so well. You're sort of driving it along, not really thinking that it's got all the brake horsepower and all the, you know, excitement in it, because you think it's only a estate. But when you do jam your foot down and you drop it through the gears and stuff like that, it is such a good laugh. It just, if you had to drive around all day as a sensible person, and then there was a back road on the way home, that would be the car I'd want to be in, because you could have so much luxury all the way to that point and then have a massive laugh around the B road. And last off is my favourite car of 2015. Well, I think it's a toss-up. It really is. I can't quite decide. Jumping in the Porsche 911 Turbo, unbelievable car, it really is. I could not believe that I was able to have the pleasure of driving that car. It was just it's on another level to me. It really, really is. But I wouldn't want to daily it. So I'd want something that was a bit more of a rounded package. I think it's a toss-up between the 911 and the blue Evo 9. Both are turbocharged, you know, they're four-wheel drive and stuff, so you've got the reassurance that none of them are really going to really end badly, depending on what you're doing, honestly. But I think they're the two that I've always wanted to drive, and they are both the ones that have really, they haven't crushed my dream of the car being as good as I thought it was going to be. I jumped in both of them thinking, yeah, it's going to be this good, it's going to be this good, it's going to be this good, and they excelled that. They really, really did. I've wanted to drive a 911 for a while, because at one point in my life I was obsessed with buying one, and I'm so glad that I was able to jump in that one, and it was as good as I thought it was going to be. Well, it was better actually, if I'm honest. It really, really was. You know, roof down, you got the turbo spooling, you've got such a nice place to be, and then you put your foot down and you've got a 500 odd brake at your disposal, and it literally, it opened my eyes to, oh my god, this is a fast car. This is fast now. So being able to jump in that was insane. It really, really was. So I think that, and the blue Evo 9, because I've always loved Evos. I really, really have always loved Evos. And to jump in that one that's just a rounded package already, it's not, you know, there's no boost lag, there's no, you know, twitchy back ends and stuff. It's just a nice car. It's usable, and it's everything I thought it was going to be and a bit more. So that really, really takes it for me. So I'd say the blue Evo 9 and the Porsche 911 Turbo. So guys, I hope you like this video. It's a little bit of a send-off for 2015, talking about the cars that I've done this year. And of course, as always, let me know in the comments what you think of what I think is the best cars of this year. This isn't throughout the whole lifetime of me driving. I've driven other cars and stuff, so I just wanted to make this more about this year, this time of the YouTube channel, of the cars that I've featured on it. And I definitely think they're the best ones of this. So let me know in the comments what you think about all that, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.